Hi, I want to welcome you to this short video about the 8-week online Fast and Fun Accelerated Spanish program. It is designed for both children and adults who don't have the time to commit to a 1 to 2 year course. And they want to achieve the same or better level of mastery in a fraction of the time and at a fraction of the cost. And in this short video, I'm going to share with you the 5 keys to accelerated language mastery so you can understand what makes it possible. The first key to accelerated language mastery is speed. The first thing we have to do is bypass the old traditional rote learning approach and install the highest use words and phrases directly into long-term memory. Now, most people think that the only way to learn any subject thoroughly is to learn in a slow and methodical way. This couldn't be farther from the truth when it comes to learning languages. You see, our brains are hardwired to learn languages in a rapid, fast-paced manner, and that's how babies learn thousands of words before the age of 2. It's not that the class itself is going at a frantic rate, no, far from it. It's just that the acquisition of the target words and phrases are installed into the long-term memory at a rapid rate. We don't want the students to cram the words and phrases into short-term memory just to pass an exam. We want to install them into the long-term memory so that they can be easily retrieved anytime they are needed for the rest of their lives. Students are always surprised by how fast they learn. Here's what a few of them have to say.
In Mrs. Goody's class, I've learned Spanish way faster than I ever thought I could. In about a month, I learned more than I ever did at my previous school, and I took Spanish for a year.
I went to Signora's class and I was able to have all of these language interactions, and I was able to read and actually hear it and then also get the proper grammar structure. It was a lot easier for me to understand, and I got it all a lot faster.
I feel like I've definitely learned more. I mean, I feel like I learned more in a few weeks of this class, more than I did in a whole year of, past years. So yeah, and this class kind of just hardwires it into your brain, and it gets you to read and understand the language super well.
I definitely learned Spanish much faster in Mrs. Goody's class because it's not from a textbook, it's like actually verbal, and you can learn more way faster. In a month, I learned more than elementary school, middle school, and
The second key to accelerated language mastery is it has to be fun. Instead of the slow, boring, rote repetition of the old-fashioned way, students often say they were having so much fun they didn't even realize that they were learning the language. This is because they have come to expect that learning is hard and with textbook exercises and rote repetition boring. None of that with this method. I use no textbooks, none of those old rote learning approaches. The key to installing a language directly into long-term memory is to throw away all those old textbooks and use stories and games and music, things that make us come alive. In particular, we use stories to communicate directly with the language center of the brain and the long-term memory section of the unconscious mind. And the stories are guided by the teacher, yet they are created spontaneously by the students. That brings back the natural learning strengths of curiosity, creativity, love of learning, and as well as the playfulness and humor that keeps the class uplifted and fully engaged. Here's what some of the students had to say about how fun it was.
The Spanish class with Miss Goody has been really fun. It's probably one of the best learning experiences I've ever had.
Yeah, I think it's really fun. I really like the story asking because it brings Spanish into real life situations that I can see right in front of me.
Mrs. Goody is really awesome, super amazing, so energetic and spunky. She makes learning really fun, and she does it in a really creative way, and I really like it.
The third key to accelerated language mastery is it has to be easy. In fact, it has to be so easy that students don't even realize that they are learning because they are talking about things that are meaningful to them, various aspects of their lives, sports, hobbies, friends. And as they are talking about these everyday subjects, the targeted words and phrases are going straight into long-term memory. Here's what the students had to say about how easy it was.
So learning Spanish has been easier than I thought it'd be because Mrs. Goody's very engaged with the class. We do various storytelling activities with like props, and we have fun PowerPoints that we go through, and she's very engaged with the class, hands-on activities.
Miss Goody's class, it feels a lot more, instead of we're having to do work or learning, we're just having fun, but as we're having fun, we're actually learning a lot about Spanish.
I think being in Senora Goody's class, I've definitely learned faster just because the interactions that you get out of it, rather than just learning from a book or from just songs or stuff, you get so many different experiences throughout it that they all come together and it makes it easier to comprehend and remember. So.
The fourth key to accelerated language mastery is skill level. Accelerated Language Mastery, ALM, uses a combination of TPRS, Total Physical Response Stories, NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, and a collection of the best tested learning techniques from around the world, all woven together into one system and held together by this secret glue that makes the whole thing work, TLC, Tender Loving Care. However, it's not just about applying the system to the language. The key is to install the 20% of the language that gives you the 80% results. Students surprise themselves with the skill level they have attained. Hear them tell you what it's like to suddenly find that they can do it.
I'm definitely farther than I thought I would be. I can speak and explain my emotions, and I can sometimes understand others, and that's really nice.
Last year I didn't really care for Spanish all that much, but now this year Miss Goody really helped me to turn back to Spanish, and now I really enjoy it.
Yeah, my stepdad is actually from Mexico, and he's in the military, so he's here and he got stationed, but he's fluent in Spanish and we can have conversations back and forth, which is really cool because it's nice to be able to communicate with him.
I've definitely learned Spanish a ton faster than I thought I would. Yeah, at first I thought it'd be a super long process that would take years for me to develop, where this year I've learned a ton of vocabulary and I can speak a ton of sentences in Spanish, and I feel very confident from it.
I do think that I can speak with other people and be able to actually have a fluid conversation. In fact, sometimes my friends and I like to speak to each other in Spanish, or sometimes I even ramble off to my mom in Spanish because she took Spanish in high school, and it's really fun. And whenever I'm around people and they speak Spanish, I always want to be able to have a conversation with them because it's really fun, and I even think in Spanish sometimes because I like the practice.
The fifth and most important key element and the glue that holds the whole thing together is love. I guess you could say the delivery system is love, unconditional love. You see, every story is unique, new, and personalized to the students who are making it up as they go along. And the stories are encouraged to be as outrageous as possible so that the words and the phrases stick into long-term memory. So it is essential that every student know that they are in an environment of unconditional love, so they can fully relax and just simply play in the language, because that's how we naturally learn. I see my role as building a heartfelt connection with each student, and it is my job to widen that connection and flow out as much love through that connection as I can, and the students feel it. Here's what they have to say.
Definitely do think Miss Goody cares. She's one of the people with the biggest hearts that I know, and she does really care about us. I learned a whole bunch of other stuff in class other than just Spanish and basic knowledge and how to be a good person and life lessons and a lot of other stuff that the other teachers don't do.
Oh yeah, Mrs. Goody definitely cares about all of us. Yeah, she always makes sure that everyone is comfortable with her class. She always makes sure that she's going at the right speed. Making sure that she's not going way too fast for us, and making sure that we can comprehend everything that we're saying and that we're comfortable and that we have an easier time learning.
I personally think that Miss Goody cares about each and every one of her students, not just about how they do in her class or about the grade that they have in her class or others. She cares about them personally, how they're doing, their personality and how they're gonna go forward. It's not just about, oh, you're gonna learn vocab. It's about learning life lessons and how to actually speak.
I feel Miss Goody cares a lot. She has a way of teaching us, but caring at the same time. It's not just about learning Spanish, it's about like having an open mind to it and caring to learn Spanish. And if you're having a rough day, she's always there. Miss Goody's always there for you, and Miss Goody's always a person you can talk to about anything, and she always cares no matter what it is.
I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope you now have a fuller understanding of these 5 keys so that you have all the information that you need to get started on your accelerated language adventure. And I look forward to seeing you in an upcoming class.